Hello and welcome to the show. I am here today on Forza Horizon 4 going to be building another rally car, although my vehicle of choice is not the Escort Cosworth because the most requested vehicle from last time was, well, a random car from the auction house. We are going to do a little bit of an auction house lucky dip. I'm going to set the buyout requirement. Hold on, let's remember how to do this. So the maximum buyout for this is going to be 50,000 credits. We're going to search this up, and the 21st car is going to be the vehicle that I run. So, for example, if it was the first car, we could have this nice Corvette. I mean, I quite like the Corvette, not going to lie. I'd like the Corvette more than the Morris Minor, but we're going to have to see what we get. So, that is car number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So that is the 20th vehicle. Actually, a quite interesting selection of cars have gone through this, which gives me some confidence that our next vehicle might be exciting. It is going to be a... Oh... Okay, it's very not what I would have liked. However, this is what we're going to have to be using. The Polaris, the RZR. I have no bloody clue if this is going to be able to get even remotely close to the top of S1 class. But it is going to be ours for the amazing price of 14,000 credits. We can have a glorified golf cart. Fantastic stuff. Now, I mean, the RZR can be quite fast under some very specific circumstances. Very specific circumstances, it can be quite fast. I don't know what we're going to have out here. My big concerns, of course, are engine, power. While it is off-road orientated, which is going to be good, I mean, we've turned a lot of these other cars into something that is off-road orientated, so that kind of negates some of the Polaris' advantage. I guess that's just through manufacturer, aren't we? We will go and then grab our Polaris buggy, wherever that may be. And here it is. Get our Polaris buggy. Apparently this one here has been modified slightly already. Let's go and see what we can do with it. Can this still... Was it the Aero Atom's V8 racing engine? I think this buggy got. Now, if it can still get that, we might be okay. Or any other immense silliness, we might be okay. If we're stuck with the standard or not massively powerful engines, we're probably not going to be okay. Motorbike engine, and... Ooh, okay. Sorted! We've got a Turbo Rally engine. I was hoping for the V8 Racing, however the Turbo Rally engine is bloody good, so that works for me. Let's go and sort out some of the other stuff. Wow, okay, so PI-wise, I guess it's very light. I guess it's very, very light indeed. PI-wise, we are already pretty close, actually, to the top of S1 class. So let's go ahead and stick that on. We won't have the CVT, of course, in this because it would have been changed when we put... Fairly sure it... maybe not, actually. Don't know. I'm going to put that gearbox in because it lowers the PI by a crap ton, and that means we can get more power in the car. Pretty good idea, really. I will have to adjust the gear ratios before we run the car because the gear ratios on this are wonky as anything, and it tops out at like 90 miles an hour, and when you've got 300 horsepower in this, no, it's going to be doing more than 90. It'll need to do more than 90 for the course we're running the damn thing through. I was curious whether the roll cage was going to do anything visually, but no is the answer to that. Right. Engine. Many powers, please. Many powers are required from you, if you would be so kind as to... There we go, that's more like it. Gearbox dropped the PI down by a huge amount. Gearbox absolutely floored the PI, which is actually kind of quite good in many ways, because now I've got a fully maxed out Turbo Rally engine. That's 668 horsepower. In a buggy that weighs 1,600 pounds, that's alarming. That is alarming power to weight ratio, and it will have some alarming acceleration. Downsides, I can't change the tyre widths, although they're not the tiniest of tyres. I think what works so tremendously well in my favour is that the game gives this car a top speed rating of piddly, because technically from standard it is. However, it's not going to be piddly when I'm finished with it. And yeah, so the top speed is all balked by the gearbox and so on. I mean, it's a little bit sneaky. It's a little bit sneaky. Could be very fast, could be utterly, utterly out of control. So, here we are on the grid with the Polaris, where I'm going to have 3 runs through our rally stage to try and go as fast as possible. 1:56.7, the time to try and beat. I don't really know what we are going to be seeing from this vehicle. I'm not expecting much control in the buggy, however, I'm going to give it as good a shot as I can, quite frankly. Yeah, this is a very much kind of an oddball vehicle. Yes, it is designed for off-road, but it's also not really designed to deal with 700 horsepower. Oh, God. And, well, it's a little bit on the twitchy side, I'm not going to lie. We've got no aero parts that we can put on the car. It's kind of limited in terms of upgrades you can do. I'm carrying a bit of the fence with me, that's fine. We're allowed to do that. Yeah, it's got kind of mad acceleration followed by very little control through the corners, and it's whether I can somehow get enough speed through the... well, not lose too much speed through the corners is perhaps a better way of saying it, and then make the most of the mad acceleration as and where we can. I'm unlikely to enjoy this section down here in the Polaris, although we kind of slide our way up there, and a little brush on the fence, we're fine. I am a small bit concerned about its sort of bounciness, being, well, it has a relatively high centre of mass. It could actually fall over a little bit around here. Christ, that's fast. It's so stupidly fast down there. Oh no, I've got the, oh well, we've done it now, haven't we? Well, I guess we at least got the checkpoint through all of that. That's silly speed, that's 115 miles an hour down there. Oh, I missed that checkpoint by a mile. There is not much control in this car. It is all power and very little grip. Very little grip indeed. I would like considerably more. Yeah, I'd like considerably more in the way of rear end grip. I don't want it sliding around as much as it does, and less perhaps airtime as well. I mean, it's not looking well. It's not a great first run. Let's be honest. We've missed 2 checkpoints. And this is the first vehicle to actually miss a checkpoint around this course. I mean, I've been wonky through corners with other cars, but this is the first one to miss a checkpoint. I think I could be wrong, I guess, on that, but there we have it. Fly through the air, Polaris. Maybe not quite like that, though. Amazingly, we land. Oh, God, that's horrible trying to get the power down on the tarmac. Just got one big tank slapper going on. And that's across the line in 2 minutes 20, so only 24 seconds to go if we want to go fastest. It's, that's not easy to drive at all. Well, we are on to our second attempt with what is quite possibly the scariest vehicle I've ever driven down this stage, and that includes the Morgan three-wheeler that fell over and wasn't yeah, this is a lot worse. This is worse than the Morgan three-wheeler, I think, because it is so very twitchy and so insanely fast accelerating that, yeah, I think the Morgan was easier to drive than this one. We are sideways on our way out of that section. I'm just going to stay out wide. Basically, if I've got this vehicle going in a straight line, I'm just going to damn the consequences and leave it pointing in whatever way it is and hope that straight line is where it's supposed to go. Even if I'm slightly out of position, I think it's better to do that than to try and fight the angry buggy, because it will try and murder you if you try and do small changes of direction. I mean, there's some fences over there I was probably not supposed to hit, but never mind. Yeah, I mean, like the first run, I didn't really glean much about it other than it does want to actively try and kill you. It might be quite quick because of the acceleration if you can deal with the twitchiness going on here. We will fire our way down this short section, try and make the most of the acceleration when we eventually can point the car the direction it's supposed to be going in. Try and not clobber any more fences. Definitely don't want to run wide here. I don't want to bounce around too much. Now remember to brake incredibly early because you're doing about 115 up here when you shouldn't and when most things aren't. I think the Bentley was pretty fast as well up there. Now, this is where we are going to hurt. There's just a lack of composure and control. We can actually kind of get away with carrying some speed there just by sort of sliding our way through. Not great on the exit, sorry, but we have got the run you kind of want, actually, up onto this back section. We're still fighting the buggy into the Sandy Snake section. We'll bounce around across these. Not too bad there. It doesn't lose too much time being thrown around, thankfully, being an off-road buggy. We are out of the final main corner, if you like, towards the big jump Probably can't get away with this being flat out, so we'll go for a little lift, a little bit sort of feathering the throttle, try and not spin the wheels, try and not excite the back end too much as we run towards the line. There we go, we've had 20 seconds. Not bad. Not bad at all. That is very difficult to run, but we found some 20 seconds there, 2-minute .3. I mean, there is potential for this to somehow sneak in a sub 2-minute run. There is also potential for me to literally end up in the ocean. It's going to go one or two ways, I think, on this final run. This is it. Our final run, our final attempt with the crazy, crazy Polaris buggy. And I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna have to try and go for as calm and composed as a near 700 horsepower incredibly light buggy can actually be around here. I think that's my only chance of really being able to make up any time. We've had some kind of mad runs so far. I say calm and composed, and this is a very relative term. I think my best bet is going to be a fair bit of short shifting. Now, you can get away with this with the Turbo Rally engine. Its power band is a little bit interesting. It kind of falls off at the very top of the rev range. It might actually work with this. And, of course, if we can short shift kind of well enough, we'll stop a bit of the lunatic wheel spin. That makes the Polaris as twitchy as it is. Fingers crossed, or we'll just end up being slow. That can also happen sometimes. Grip through the corners is not quite as great as you would have liked. There are times, and I've also not driven this as calm and composed as I would have liked to have done. Taken out most of the fence so far, which isn't great. I'll try and feed it down. Down here, are we going to be able to make it through this next section, but only just. Oh, I don't know about this run. Not sure about this run so far. It's been quick in places, but I don't know if it's going to be quick enough overall. Now, remember to brake a bit earlier up here because we're carrying a lot of speed and brakes on this aren't the best that we've had to deal with. We can carry surprising speed out here. I really thought we would struggle more. I say for mid-corner speed. We are doing the whole corner quite sideways. I could have really done without hitting that. First time we've hit that, and it's actually really upset a vehicle, although it is very, very nice transition up there. So, it lost a little bit of time, having to correct the buggy, and then made a bit of time up. We weave our way through Sandy Snake towards our last hairpin, and now the jump. Can we get the buggy lined up nicely across here? Can we get the landing sorted, get the power down? It's a little bit twisted. However, we do end up getting the landing spot on. Now it's all about that acceleration. Come on, buggy. Oh, you are going to do it. Oh, I didn't know if I got that one. I did not know if I had got that one. However, we do make it. In fact, we make it in a pretty damn impressive time as well. 159.188. Oh, I think it's ridiculous. I think that's just the safest way to describe it. Now look, didn't win anything interesting from the wheel spin. What a surprise! That's ridiculous vehicle. Ridiculous vehicle to drive. It has incredible amounts of acceleration. There is no doubting that. But trying to use any of it is so difficult. The buggy does want to murder you. It really wants to murder you, and that, funnily enough, makes it quite difficult to drive through a sandy rally stage. That all being said, if you do get things, well, vaguely together, even I wasn't perfectly happy, there are bits where it could have possibly improved on, but if you can keep it together, it's still going to be damn fast. It goes into a 7th place. It actually beats the Dodge Demon, it beats the Volkswagen Type 2, the Volvo 242. It's only fractions down on the Honda S2000. It's less than 2/10 down on the Pagani Zonda. That's quite impressive for something that you don't really have any control over. You have some suggestions, and you have to hope that the buggy will actually be doing what you are suggesting to it. Because it might not. It might just go and visit a tree or an interesting bit of foliage. It depends on what mood the buggy's in. I'm kind of still surprised we didn't end up in the ocean at some point, but there we go. Surprisingly quick and utterly terrifying would be my short description of this vehicle. That, though, is going to be it for today. If you have requests for cars you would like to see run in this series, you can leave them in the comments below. the most liked one, provided I have the car can fit in within the category and so on, provided it can be done, will be run in the next episode. Who knows what weird machinery you guys are going to get me to, weird or perhaps normal machinery, depending on what people want to see. Yeah, what we're going to be running next. That'll be it for today, though. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.